What's going on? I'm not going to put an intro here. I'm not going to put any graphics. I just want to give you guys my raw reaction to this because I've been covering this dude since the draft. I've been covering him, watching him. People have tried to say that I got blue lenses. I got Giants blue lenses, and I'm just hating on the dude. And I'm talking about Daniel Jones and mixing it. This isn't about Daniel Jones. It's not about any other quarterback. It's not about really any other player but Dwayne Haskins. So let's check out this timeline. Haskins gets drafted. He sees the Giants draft Daniel Jones. He's shaking his head. He's laughing like they made a big mistake. And I'm like, okay, well, prove us wrong. He wanted to go to New York. I think he grew up a Giants fan. He wanted to go there. And I'm like, okay, well, prove us wrong. I mean, me personally, I was rooting for the guy. And he comes into Washington. He didn't play that well. He had a couple of really bad games. And I mean, I'm like, okay, maybe going into the next year. Now, mind you, he has games where he's got bad chemistry with receivers that he's played with in college. McLaurin, he played with in college. You know how many more reps he has with McLaurin going back to college over Alex Smith? He played with him in college, and he couldn't get him the ball last year consistently. Dwayne Haskins last week went to the strip club with maybe his girlfriend or some girl he knew, and neither one of them have masks on. Of course, the strippers don't have masks on because they're taking everything off, I guess. And they're just partying and yelling and recording themselves, and that's the worst thing. When people do stupid things, why is there always someone recording? Why are they always recording the stupid things they do? He likes to record himself and take selfies at the end of games. I mean, I don't understand what's going on with Dwayne Haskins. He had a perfect shot. He has all the talent in the world. People tried to say he was immobile. He couldn't move. I think the dude can move. I think that he's mobile enough for the NFL to be able to buy time and run for first downs. He's shown that he could do that. And then last game, I mean, let's first cover the fact that he's been benched for Heineke. He's been benched for Alex Smith. He's been benched for Kyle Allen. He's been benched a lot. And like I said, when you look at this, he hasn't handled any of this well. I thought that he was handling the Alex Smith benching well. I thought maybe this guy can turn the corner. And he sees Alex Smith going there, and he sees how Alex Smith prepares. Just the same way that Mahomes did. He sees how Alex Smith prepares. He sees him reading the defense, watching film, the work that this dude puts in. And he learns how to be a pro. Okay, fine. I'm giving him this chance. And he looked like he was buying in. He looked like he was buying into Ron Rivera. He's on the sideline cheering on Alex Smith as the backup quarterback. It looks like he's helping him, look at players on the sideline. So I'm saying, okay, Dwayne Haskins is really turning the corner. And then you have the strip club accident. And then yesterday he gets benched again because of his poor play. Mind you, he's coming off of a game where he threw the ball 50-something times and didn't break 300 yards. But this week, he gets benched again. Taylor Heineke comes in there and basically outperforms him in about 8 minutes for what Haskins did that entire game. And he comes in and outperforms him. Washington ends up losing. They had a chance to seal this playoff victory, not a playoff victory, but to seal their playoff hopes. That would have clinched the division for them. They had the chance to do it. They couldn't do it. And then, on top of that, Dwayne Haskins is nowhere to be found for the post-game interview, which I think the NFL is going to fine him for that. And then he leaves the stadium. Now, I was in a stream last night, an NFC stream. Great stream, by the way. But I was in a stream last night, and I was saying in that stream, listen, if I'm Ron Rivera and Dwayne Haskins pulls that on me, and he's coming off of a week where he doesn't even care that Ron Rivera is in remission from cancer, and he's just, being lackadaisical with how he's trying to control the virus. He doesn't care about his team, about them winning or losing, and, players being out because you made a mistake. And then Ron Rivera, being sick. He doesn't care about that. And then you have the nerve to play bad because you probably didn't prepare that week because of what you were doing. And then you have the nerve to leave the stadium, not answer any questions, and then leave the entire stadium, leave your teammates. If I'm Ron Rivera, which I hope he did. I hope he called him. I hope he called him and said, Dwayne, listen, don't even come back to the facility. Don't come back to the facility. Just keep walking. Go home. We don't want to see you anymore. You're not on the team anymore. Because what Ron Rivera is building, the culture that I see him building, Dwayne Haskins does not fit in. He does not fit with that culture. And it's good for the future of the Washington football team that he's not there, because they shouldn't be tying any future resources into helping him become a better quarterback or doing anything with him. Because Haskins at this point has completely imploded. I don't know if he's dealing with some kind of addiction that we don't know about, but this behavior is erratic. I'm like the same age as him. And of course, I don't have the millions and millions of dollars he has, but I feel that I have enough head power and enough brain power to figure out not to do certain things, because that could ruin my life. And Haskins had the golden opportunity at the very least. At the very least, he becomes a backup quarterback. And he just stays in the NFL as a backup guy. And he has a solid career that way. But now you're making teams not even want to look at you. Maybe someone looks at you and takes a shot and says, with that arm talent, maybe. But you're not accurate. And you just simply haven't played well enough to warrant the things that you do. Usually players that do this and players that throw temper tantrums when they get benched are talented, accomplished players. Like Carson Wentz, believe it or not, is a talented, somewhat accomplished player. He can be upset that he's getting benched, but Carson Wentz doesn't leave the stadium. Carson Wentz doesn't abandon the team like that and put his teammates and their teammates' families and the coach that's coming off of cancer in danger. I've seen enough from Dwayne Haskins to say that if I'm an NFL team, I wouldn't want to sign him, and I'm all a proponent of giving people second chances and giving people jobs. But Dwayne Haskins has gotten about 3 or 4 chances, and every single time he's let the Washington football team down. They've put all of their resources into like trying to develop him and making him a better player and a better man. And he basically spit in their face. So I'm glad that he was cut. Washington football team fans, you should be happy that this dude isn't on your team anymore. He's not good for that team, and with the direction that I think that they're going in, which I think they're going up. I don't think he deserves to reap the benefits of a good team being around him in the future. And I hate to say it, but I went from rooting for him as just an individual football player, a guy that's in my division, rooting for him to somewhat maybe turn the corner and succeed, to just, I don't like the guy anymore. I just don't like him. He's not a likable person anymore. What a messed up situation that he put himself in. And he's going to learn from it. Hopefully he learns from it. But I think that there's some deeper seated issues, some deeper seated addictions that we don't know about that will cause him to act like this. Because this is erratic behavior. And Ron Rivera 100% made the right decision. The news should have come last night, because it's like HBO Hard Knocks. You do something like that, it's like coach wants to talk to you, bring your playbook. You got to go. And I'm glad that Ron Rivera stepped up and made that decision, because that's disgusting. We don't need that in the NFL. You don't need that on your team if you're trying to turn the team. So hopefully Haskins learns from this. Hopefully he really, does a lot of introspection and finds his way back into the league, and next time does better with the chances that he's given. This is a hometown kid. They got to stay, where he lived. That's the dream of everybody. And he messed it up. So I hope that Dwayne Haskins can learn from this.